Hare and Tortoise are two legendary competitors. Their names have become synonymous with their contrasting qualities in many countries and cultures, and we all know about their famous race. But do we really understand what the story is trying to tell us? What are the hidden meanings that make it such a timeless fable? Let's try to find out in this video. Once upon a time, in a lush green valley where the forest met the meadow, lived a community of animals that thrived in harmony. Among them were two creatures who could not have been more different, Hare and Tortoise. The hare was known far and wide for his lightning speed. His fur gleamed golden brown under the sun, and his powerful legs carried him across fields like a gust of wind. He was proud, too. Proud of his gift. Whenever animals gathered, Hare would boast, "No one can outrun me. I am the fastest in this forest, faster than the wind, faster than the river's flow." The tortoise, on the other hand, was quiet and unassuming. His shell was heavy, his pace deliberate. He never hurried, never boasted, and never compared himself to others. To the hare, the tortoise was the perfect target of mockery. "Tortoise," Hare would laugh, "if you started walking at sunrise, you wouldn't reach the hilltop before sunset. You're slower than the moss that grows on your own shell." The animals would chuckle nervously, though some frowned at the hare's arrogance. The tortoise, however, never grew angry. He would smile gently and continue his slow and steady walk, unbothered by Hare's words. One bright morning, when the animals gathered near the stream for fresh water, Hare once again bragged of his speed. He leaped in circles, dashed to a tree and back before anyone could blink, and grinned at the admiring gasps. "See, none of you stand a chance against me." Tortoise, sipping water slowly, lifted his head. His eyes were calm, but his voice was firm. "Hare, you may be swift, but speed alone does not guarantee victory." Hare twitched his whiskers in disbelief. "Are you suggesting you could ever beat me?" He burst into laughter, and the forest echoed with it. "I propose a race," Tortoise said softly. "Let us find out." The animals gasped. The idea seemed absurd, a lumbering tortoise against the fleet-footed hare, yet curiosity sparked in their eyes. Could patience and perseverance really triumph over speed and arrogance? The wise owl, respected by all, agreed to officiate. "Very well," she declared. "The race shall begin tomorrow at dawn. The course will stretch from the meadow, through the forest path, across the hill, and end at the old oak tree by the river. Whoever touches the oak first shall be the winner." And so the race began. The hare shot forward like an arrow, dust rising in his wake. In seconds, he was far ahead, leaving Tortoise behind. The crowd roared in amazement. "Look at him fly!" they exclaimed. "Poor Tortoise! He doesn't stand a chance." But the tortoise did not falter. Step by step, he moved forward, slow yet steady, his eyes fixed on the distant oak tree. The hare's pride, meanwhile, Hare bounded through the forest, dodging roots and leaping over stones with ease. He soon reached a shady patch of grass halfway to the hill. Turning back, he saw no sign of Tortoise. "This is hardly a challenge. That lumbering shell is probably still at the starting line," he said with a yawn. And so, confident of his lead, Hare decided to take a nap. Certain that even after a long rest, he would easily win the race. The tortoises steady marched back on the trail. Tortoise kept moving. Step, step, step. His legs ached, and the path was long. But he never slowed. Patience and persistence, he murmured to himself. That is my strength. He passed the meadow, entered the forest, and carefully climbed over roots and rocks. Some animals who had doubted him earlier now watched in awe. "Look at him," said a sparrow. "He doesn't give up." Hours passed. The sun climbed high, then began its descent. The tortoise, breathing steadily, approached the hilltop where Hare was still fast asleep. The gentle crunch of leaves beneath Tortoise's feet did not stir him. Step by step, the tortoise passed the sleeping Hare and continued toward the oak. The awakening, at last, Hare awoke with a start. The sun was lower than he expected. With a gasp, he leapt up, suddenly realizing the gravity of his situation. He raced down the hill, bursting with renewed energy, and dashed toward the finish line. But as he came upon the oak tree, his heart sank. The animals were cheering. The tortoise, slow but unwavering, was just steps away from touching the tree. "No," cried Hare, pushing his legs to their limits. He flew across the ground, but it was too late. The tortoise had won. The crowd erupted in applause. Squirrels clapped their tiny paws, birds sang triumphantly, and even the fox nodded in respect. The tortoise had won. Hare, humbled and ashamed, realized the error of his ways. From that day forward, he never boasted again, and the tortoise became a legend, showing all that with perseverance, anything is possible. So, what do you think? Does this story teach us that slow and steady wins the race? Or is there another valuable lesson hidden within? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. We hope you enjoyed watching this as much as we did, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories.